Darling, for the past couple of days, the girls have been fighting, and you might be wondering, fighting about what? Well, you came to the right place. People are questioning whether or not Miss Earth has been overtaken by Miss Grand International as a Big Four pageant. And it all started a couple of days ago when Miss Sociology shared a post asking their followers to let them know whether Miss Earth or Miss Grand International deserve to be within the top 5 pageants in the world. You heard it right, top 5, not top 4. Girl, when I tell you this post triggered the viewers, all you have to do is go and check out the comment section of this post. But understandably so, as I mentioned earlier, Miss Earth is considered to be a Big Four pageant. Why are we even questioning their positioning within the Big Five? Well, regardless of where you place yourself when it comes to this issue, today I'm gonna share with you my take on this particular question, as usual, backed up by evidence. Let's get into it. Listen, let's get right into it by talking about the things that matter the most. And during this video, I would like to touch on a couple of things that I feel like are very important and that I would have to consider when it comes to selecting what is a Big Four, Big Five, or Big Six pageant and what is a minor pageant. Some of those categories will be things such as the relevance of the pageant, the production, the advocacy, and of course, the legacy of the organization. So let's start by talking about the relevance. It is no secret for anyone that Miss Earth is an annual international pageant based in the Philippines which advocates for environmental awareness, conservation, and social responsibility. On the same breath, Miss Grand International is a yearly pageant which is held mostly in Thailand and tries to live up to their slogan, Stop the War and Violence. Now, when it comes to the relevance of a competition, I am really thinking more about numbers. And in terms of viewership per se, I think that if we compare the Miss Earth numbers to the Miss Grand International numbers, Miss Grand International definitely has an advantage when it comes to this metric. If you take a look at their last yearly competition, it reached 16 million viewers, whereas the Miss Earth 2024 pageant brought home a little bit over 500,000 viewers. It is undeniable the viewership of the competition, especially the final competition, it is an indicator of the level of interest when it comes to the general public. It is also undeniable that from a worldwide perspective, as of right now in 2024, Miss Grand International has managed to gather a lot more interest from the general public and the viewers than the Miss Earth competition has been currently doing, as it is clearly indicated by Google Trends. In terms of relevance, I think that we have to weigh two different things. First of all, the demographic, who the pageant is for and who is the target audience. I don't feel like the MGI target audience is the same target that Miss Earth has at all. One is all about entertainment, drama, glam, while the other one is a little bit more of a traditional beauty pageant with an environmental centric focus. So of course, it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It is also important to highlight that as of right now, Miss Grand International's viewership comes mostly from YouTube. The pageant is live streamed and everyone can access it that way, whereas the Miss Earth competition is broadcasted across the world in many different countries, meaning that those people wouldn't have to tune in on the YouTube live stream in order to have access to the show. Let's talk about the elephant in the room, production. By production, I'm talking about the stage, the lights, the camera angles, and all of the things that come together to give us an excellent experience while watching the show, whether it is from home or live from the venue. There is no way to sugarcoat it. MGI has great production. Miss Grand International simply has the best production of any pageant in the world at the moment. This year's edition was arguably the best edition of the competition since the beginning, and I feel like they will continue improving the level of production year after year. When it comes to Miss Earth, a lot of people will say that the production level is a hit or miss depending of where the pageant is held and depending of different editions. Personally, I have watched some editions of Miss Earth that are super glossy, super glamorous, that really sell the fantasy that a beauty pageant should sell, but at the same time, certain years the production can be a little bit of a miss. I know that particularly this year the critiques were quite harsh in terms of the final show of the competition, and it's a little bit of a discontent that I feel even among some of the Miss Earth followers. Another thing that I will count within the production is also the activities and the overall experience of the pageant for the girls, as we are not the only ones following the competition as viewers, but the girls are living it in real time. Miss Grand International is known for visiting different locations and really trying to showcase to the best of their ability the tourism industry of the country that is hosting them. I think that we can all agree that this year for Miss Grand International was not necessarily the best in terms of the rollout of the activities, considering that initially the pageant was supposed to be held in Myanmar, which got cancelled. Later on, it was announced to be a combination between Cambodia and Thailand. And Nawat ended pulling the pageant out of Cambodia because he was unhappy with some of the accommodations and some of the things that were provided by the Cambodian host. At the end of the day, the pageant ended up taking place exclusively in Thailand and still offered, I will say, decent activities for this year's contestants. Now, when it comes to Miss Earth, this year they came back to their home country, the Philippines, where every single year contestants from all over the world can expect activities close to their advocacies, environmental awareness, and conservation, but they can also expect activities from day one in different parts of the country. In that sense, I feel like the Miss Earth candidates get a more comprehensive experience of the host country, but at the same time, activities that are relevant to what they're actually standing for. I mean, you join the pageant because you want to create awareness around certain things, and the activities are closely related to those things. To be honest, I don't think that Miss Earth activities and Miss Grand International activities are easily comparable. Miss Grand is all about the glam, the luxury, and the premium experience, whereas the Miss Earth competition, no pun intended, it's a little bit more down to earth. The girls are there to put in the work and really showcase that they're not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. Now, my next couple of points, it's when this conversation gets a little bit more interesting. It's time to pull up the advocacy card. Look, when I think of advocacy, I want it to be consistent and clear, and I also want it to be overall impactful. It is undeniable that in this particular category, the one taken at home is Miss Earth. Miss Earth was founded in 2001, and next year they will celebrating their 25th anniversary. And since the very beginning, the focus of the pageant, the existence itself of it, the core of the competition has been environmental awareness, conservation, and protection. This is something that has not changed or shifted regardless of how many editions of the competition there have been. Granted, as we discussed earlier, some editions can be a little bit glossier than others, but at the end of the day, the competition remains loyal to its core. The impact of the Miss Earth organization can be felt and seen not just in the Philippines, but all over the world, with candidates from literally every single continent out there, and they have been recognized by organizations that advocate as well for the environment from every single corner of the world. Miss Grand International, on the other hand, I will say this is their biggest weakness, as they try to stick to their slogan of stop the war and violence, but realistically, there is very little that is done in terms of actions. One of my favorite parts of the Miss Grand competition is the statement round. During finals, the girls get to go on stage and make a statement about peace and war and how they will go about changing the current situation in the world, which is great. I mean, I love this type of conversations, but realistically, after winning the crown, there isn't much going on that has to do at all with war or violence, and most of the focus of the organization and the title holders seem to go towards business gains for the organization. Listen, I'm not here to necessarily judge, but I'm just saying that there is a clear disconnect between the message and the actual execution. In that sense, I will say that the overall impact of the Miss Grand International as far as advocacy is concerned is extremely low. I mean, I dare you, I challenge you, go on social media right now and find me an activity or something related to stopping the war and violence that the organization or the current title holder has posted on social media. Good luck with that. Last but not least, listen, we cannot answer this question without talking about the legacy of the organizations. As I mentioned earlier, Miss Earth was founded in 2001 in the Philippines. Miss Grand International was founded in 2013 in Thailand. Both organizations have accomplished incredible milestones in their own right, in their own very different ways as well. And I think that we need to mention that Miss Grand International, it is ran like a business. This is not a non-profit organization. It is a business. Their main goal and objective is to make revenue, which again is not criticism. If that's what they want, more power to you. But in retrospective, what is Miss Grand International's legacy other than a great spectacle? Like amazing, really, really incredible show. No one can touch it. But beyond the show, is there anything left? You answer that in the comments. Miss Earth, on the other hand, is run by a family. I know that a lot of you are familiar with Miss Lorraine Schock, which is of course the founder of Miss Earth, alongside her husband. But what a lot of casual fans don't know is that Miss Earth is run as an organization by the Schock family. You have the sister, the daughter, the auntie, everyone in the family is involved and they contribute to the Miss Earth organization and Carousel Productions. It is also no secret that as much as possible, they do keep it within the family. And yes, although they have some external help, for the most part, part, the big decisions are made by the family members. In that sense, the purpose and the legacy of Miss Earth is not business per se, but it's more of a family legacy. And I think that it also has a lot to do with the pride that comes attached to giving the Philippines their very own major international pageant. And also, let's get real for a moment. If we're talking about legacy, we have to acknowledge that Nawat started as a national director for Miss Earth in Thailand. And he left the organization and decided to start Miss Grand International based on some disagreements with Miss Earth. So I think that it is safe to say that without Miss Earth, there will potentially be no Miss Grand at all. At the end of the day, let's talk about facts, okay? This year in 2024, I challenge you, go through all of the finals of all of the pageants out there, whether it is major or minor or whatever you want to call it. Miss Grand International had the best production of the entire year. They had quality contestant, quality activities, the overall experience was on point, and that is something that even I cannot disregard. However, pageants, in my humble opinion, are supposed to be more than simply great production, a great show, and Ultra HD cameras. Miss Earth at this point has delivered over 25 fantastic editions. All of them with deserving winners, and most importantly, with a common, simple, and very solid goal: environmental awareness. Can the Miss Earth pageant use an upgrade in terms of production, camera angles, lights, you name it? Yes, absolutely yes. I think that by no means this year's edition was the best that they had to offer in previous years. There is a lot of room for improvement. I do think that there is a need for a little bit of a fresh air, and why not even bring some young people within the team to kind of modernize some of the concepts of the competition to today's standards. And to be honest, given how relevant environmental protection is at the moment worldwide, I see no reason why Miss Earth shouldn't be positioned as a leader within this industry with the right support system and team. They do need to go a little bit outside of their comfort zone, but that doesn't mean that the potential is not there. I'm also gonna take a moment to scold the Earthlings. And listen, I am one of you guys, but during the Miss Earth competition this year, I saw a lot more posts of Earthlings fighting in the comment section with other people and random pageant fans who don't even support Miss Earth, debating on whether or not Miss Earth was still a Big Four pageant. We have to focus all of that energy into supporting the candidates. We have to put that energy into the numbers of the competition and just spreading the word about the Miss Earth competition, rather than trying to convince other people who maybe won't even ever give a chance to Miss Earth just to prove a point that Miss Earth is a Big Four. Says so. You don't have to prove it. The track record and the legacy already says so. Is there room for improvement? Yes, of course there is. And do other competitions have bigger numbers? Yes, of course they do. But that doesn't mean that they suddenly don't deserve the spot that they earned for themselves with 25 years of hard work. And listen, if the relevance of a pageant was determined solely by the viewership and the numbers, we could easily say that Miss Grand International has taken over the spots of Miss World, Miss Universe, and even Miss International. And between you and I, is that true? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because you cannot put aside the hard work, the milestones, the accomplishments, and overall the legacy of every single one of those Big Four organizations. If ever, I'm gonna be honest, I do think that Miss Grand is on track to become one of the Big Five or Big Six competitions in the world, but that is something that they have earned as an organization. I don't think that they need to come in and take anyone's spot in order to claim that they are a major pageant. There's no need to pull down anyone. They simply need to earn their seat at the table. And until they do, my dear Earthlings, please let's continue supporting Miss Earth, their advocacy, the activities, the upcoming projects, and of course, our beautiful queen and her court. I hope this answered your question. I'll see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.